Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a video about a tweet I saw a few weeks, if not a month ago, and it was apparently the entire leaked Pokedex of the Galar region in hint form. So, one thing to go on to before we start, there's been a lot of similarities between the Galar region and the United Kingdom, so hopefully we've got a bit of an English theme going on with the team. So, without further ado, let's get started with the Pokedex. Okay, so for me, there's four different types of Pokemon groupings, I think. There's the starter and basic Pokemon, which are these ones. Obviously, you've got your starters with the Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble. And then you've got your rodent Pokemon, Rattata, Bidoof, your bird Pokemon, Pidgey, that sort of thing, basic bugs, um, basic fish, basic plants. So, for me, that's how every Pokemon game is set up, and as I go along, you'll be able to see what I mean, hopefully. One thing to say, I think they've put all of these Pokemon into sort of typed groupings as hints. So for Grookey, this sort of monkey image reminds me a lot of an old cartoon. Used to be the Golden Monkey, I think it was, or something like that, and he was actually turned into stone by a Jade Emperor. So for me, that kind of could hint that it's going to be a stone Pokemon. I think a little bit more likely is going to be a steel type Pokemon. So grass steel, which will then fit in with the fairy fire with the Scorbunny. I think the geisha theme's very regal and a little bit like princessy fairy type, which would be cool. And of course, we haven't had the fire fairy type before. And with the Sobble, it seems like it's going to be a dragon, but I think that's a bit of like a falsity. I don't think you're going to get a dragon starter Pokemon. However, it would fit in with the sort of the theme of it all, having the steel strong against the fairy, which is strong against the dragon, but I highly doubt that. Something to go along to the English theme is these potatoes down the bottom. Now, the potatoes are from a nightshade family, and nightshade was a poison originally used in medieval times in the United Kingdoms. They used to put it on swords and poisons. Yeah, so that kind of fits in for me. Now, moving on, we've got the early game Pokemon. So these are the ones that you sort of find kind of commonly all around the map in a few later regions. They might have some sort of unique quirk, but all in all, they're nothing too incredible. As you can see, there are two things here that are very cool. We've got the Ant 1, and then we've got the Ant 2A and Ant 2B. So obviously, we've got the sword and the shield. So, as well as the coloration, and if you know anything about biology and insects, or particularly the family Hamanatra, which is ants, bees, and wasps, you know that that's a fire ant. So, fire bug typing is the only suitable thing, and you've got a flying ant there. So, bug flying. Kind of cool. Obviously, going to have one on each game. Probably a bit of trading shenanigans to be had there. Same with the Fencer 1A and Fencer 1B. Sort of the Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee variants of the game, I assume. looking like it's going to be a fighting steel type, which in my opinion is awesome. Um, and then something that also goes along well with the colorations is the sloths. So if you didn't know, sloths move so slowly in the wild that they actually grow algae and moss on them. So that's why it's showing up as like a grass type Pokemon, because they actually have a lot of um, grass and algae that grow on them as they live. So that's a bit funny there. Um, Other than that, there's nothing really too outstanding for me. The coloration for these would, in my head, make me think either the psychic poison type, which again, very cool. I really like that. Would take away the psychic weakness of poison. Give that thing an air balloon, and you've got a pretty cool combination. So that's it for the early game. Next up, we have late game. So these are some of the more strong Pokemon. Found in the later regions of the game, a little bit harder to come by, might require some sort of evolution mechanic, either a stone or trading or another item, and to be traded with said item. Going back to the English theme, we've got the Ivy, and we've also got the suit of armor as a ghost. So, suit of armor, medieval time, Ivy, medieval time, English sort of plant. So, all sort of tying back in together there. Now, with these ones, as you can see in the top center, you've got the pick a clone. Now, that's awesome, and I love the fact that it is an elephant shrew. Really cool animal, and it's about time that they've shown it up. So that's going to be an electric ground type, in my opinion. Obviously lives in the desert, and a lot of these Pokemon here, you can sort of see have a bit of a desert vibe, with the gazelle, which isn't actually a gazelle, it's more of a springbok, but we're not going to argue that. They can do their fancy photographs, but do a biology course and they'll learn something else. Sorry for that little rant. But yeah, then you've got your Thorn 1, which is a thorny devil, obviously an Australian animal, with the Kangaroo 1 and Kangaroo 2. Hopefully, with the Kangaroos, we get a bit of a fighting type in there. Switch it up from the plain normal that Kangaskhan is. A little bit more variety. Hopefully, a little bit faster. Maybe a little weaker in terms of defenses, but a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. Have a bit more viability without a mega evolution necessary. Same with the Pick-a-Clone. I really hope that they make it a more viable Pokemon in the competitive scene. I love the Pikachu clones, and I just really want them to be useful. Now, the last thing that makes me really excited about the late games is the EV2. Now, everyone loves the evolutions in the game. They are awesome. It is one of the coolest themes that happen throughout the Pokemon games, and that's just my opinion, but I'd love to see you argue the point. But yeah, looks like it's going to be a steel type, which again would be very cool. A steel evolution. Maybe you have to give it a magnet or or evolve it in like a magnet area to get that evolution going. I don't know, but it's very cool. Finally, we've got legendaries. As you can see here, we've got a few, and I like the fact that they've spread these out quite well. So, obviously you've got your Unicorn and Monster 1 as sort of the tribute, sort of legendary, but not quite in there. Then you've got your pseudo legendary as the Dragon Ice. Then you've got, similar to the Unicorn and Monster 1, you've got your Snake and Horse 2. However, they're definitely going to be one on each game. You can't get them both at the same time, which is cool. Then you have the Sword and Shield Wolves. Obviously, one on each game. Cool. Like every other Pokemon game, you've got a legendary that is specific to that game and just have to trade. Or when the Sword and Shield combination game comes out, you'll be able to get it in that. Now, unfortunately, I have just accidentally moved this a little bit and it's cut it off, but that's all good. So, then you've got North, East, South, and West. Very region exclusives, I think, so you're going to have to get them in those areas or maybe complete a task to unlock those Pokemon's Pokemon in the actual games, which is kind of cool. As well, going back to the English theme, you've got the Plague Doctor. And that's very cool because that, of course, is the outfit worn by the doctors during the plague, which used to prevent them from getting sick while sort of figuring out what was wrong with the patients. Giant one as well, very cool. I'm hoping that one of the mountains actually just stands up and that is the Pokemon. That would be cool to me, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And anyways, bye!